Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give y'all a chance to tune in to your boy before I start building on the topic for the day. Short and simple topic for the day, yet effective. It's something that I know a lot of people struggle with. I once struggled with asthma, so I feel like I'm qualified to talk about it. So I just want to break down some simple things that you should do, some simple foods that you should avoid if you are suffering from asthma. Because like I said, it's a lot of people that suffer from asthma or just some type of respiratory condition. So I feel like this is something that I must touch on, man. It's real simple in regards to basically reversing the asthma and just curing the asthma. It's real simple in regards to things that you should do and things that you should stay away from. It's real simple. Real simple. So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to tune in and tap into your boy, man. Hopefully y'all enjoying this Thursday. It's Thursday morning. Staying healthy, staying peaceful, staying centered, staying balanced, all of that good positive stuff. Because we know how it is. It's kind of chaotic out here, so we got to remain centered. We got to remain peaceful and calm in the midst of all of that chaos. All of the chaos that's going on out here, man. We got to protect ourselves. We got to be the best knower of ourselves. We got to be our own personal doctors, our own personal healers. We cannot rely on anybody outside of ourselves to heal self. Like, we got that power. We just got to activate certain things that's already within us. Y'all know the spiel. Y'all know how I like to build on that. But it's our duty. It's your duty to take care of yourself. It's nobody else's duty. That's your duty. That's your responsibility. So I'm going to give y'all about another minute before I really start diving in so y'all don't miss the bulk of the information. It's real simple steps in regards to basically the foods that you need to stay away from that trigger the asthma reactions or the asthma attacks. And that's basically the main gist of how you combat asthma, how you reverse asthma. Pretty much watching what you are consuming. So it's basically your dietary regimen. That's going to lead you to reverse the asthma. Magic Realms, peace, what's going on with you? But especially during the times that we are living in, your immune system, we need our immune systems to be functioning properly. So we must protect, we must build, we must strengthen the immune system. But like I said, man, I'm giving y'all a chance to come on up in here, man, before we really start building on asthma. I once had asthma back in the day. They said I grew out of it. But you know how they tend to misdiagnose and they tend to lie. I don't necessarily believe I grew out of asthma because I still was experiencing some of those same symptoms that I was experiencing when I did have asthma, according to them. I didn't start to see improvements until I made changes to my diet. So I made changes to the way that I was eating. That's when I started to notice improvement with my breathing, improvement with my respiratory system, with my heart. That is when I started to notice the improvements when I started making changes to my dietary regimen. But let them tell it I grew out of the asthma. But like I said, I was still experiencing those same symptoms, man. I made some simple tweaks and I noticed some things. I noticed what was really triggering my asthma, what was really triggering the respiratory issues, what was really triggering the breathing issues. And a lot of these things, y'all already know some of them. Tristan, peace, what's going on? And no doubt, what motivated this, I was just dealing with a client, man, and she has asthma. She almost had a fatal asthma attack. So I told her, man, there's some things that I got for you that you need. Because we can't have you dropping dead out here from an asthma attack, especially when it's something that could easily be reversed. Well, one of the first things when it comes to asthma and people that are suffering from asthma, the first thing that I started to ask some questions. I started to ask her questions in regards to what foods are she consuming. The main food. Beast by Bless Zone Out Music. Peace, what's going on? The two main things that you need to stay away from if you are suffering from asthma. or any type of respiratory issue, you really shouldn't be consuming this anyway. But definitely, if you are suffering from asthma, the main two foods that you need to stay away from, the cow's milk and eggs. Those are the main two. If you don't drop anything else, make sure you drop those two. If you are suffering from asthma, you need to stop consuming cow's milk. You need to stop drinking it because that triggers an not an allergic reaction, but that triggers your asthma. And the eggs. Those are the top two. Eggs and the cow's milk. If you suffer from asthma, eliminate those today. Like, don't even procrastinate, don't even wait. You need to eliminate, you need to stop drinking that milk today, and you need to stop eating those eggs today. Montel, peace, what's going on with you? So yeah, if you suffering from asthma, the top two things, the first two things that need to go, cow's milk, eggs. Don't need to consume those. And then we start getting into things like soy products. So a lot of times I ask people, do they consume soy products? And they say no. But sometimes you have to look at the ingredients of some of the things that you may be consuming. And it may contain soy. You know how on the back it says contains wheat, soy, egg, nuts, or whatever the case may be. Make sure you are staying away from soy products if you suffer from asthma. That can trigger your asthma. Montel, everything is peace my way, man. How you holding up? So you got eggs, you got cow's milk, you got soy products. Definitely want to stay away from those three if you suffer from the asthma. Justin Green, peace, what's going on? Fourth thing, seafood has got to go. Seafood can be bad for people with asthma, especially like shrimp, shellfish, and things of that nature. But I would recommend just staying away from seafood. So if you have asthma, so far on the list, got the cow's milk, got the eggs, got the soy products, you got your seafood, shrimp, shellfish. But I say stay away from seafood in general. Oh, Montel, no doubt, man. Glad to hear you doing good. And fifth, a lot of people don't like this, but basically, I'm telling you to stay away from cheese. Because that's one thing that I noticed. All right. When I was still suffering, when I was still experiencing the symptoms from my asthma, which they said I had grown out of, one thing that I noticed when I transitioned to veganism first, it was clearing everything up. Then I went back to the vegetarian lifestyle. When I transitioned back to the vegetarian lifestyle, I put cheese back into my regimen. I noticed instantly that the cheese was causing a problem. The moment I put the cheese back into my lifestyle, the moment I started having issues with my respiratory system, with my chest, with my breathing, all of that was affected when I put the cheese back into my lifestyle. So cheese definitely clogs up the arteries. Cheese is definitely a problem for people with asthma. Like I said, I noticed it. When I eliminated it, when I went vegan, didn't have any issues. When I put the cheese back into my lifestyle, when I put the eggs back into my lifestyle, we had a problem. We had a problem. So when I went vegetarian, problem in regards to like asthma, just bronchitis, and any type of respiratory condition. So you definitely want to stay away from the cheese. So basically you want to stay away from the dairy products. And another thing too that you may need to stay away from is two things you want to stay away from. You want to watch your consumption of nuts. So any type of nut like almonds, got the Brazil nuts. So any type of nuts, you may want to stay away from those because that can trigger your asthma. And then peanuts, you definitely want to stay away from those as well. So the list of foods to stay away from if you suffer from asthma or any type of respiratory condition or respiratory issue. Got the cow's milk. Basically, you got your dairy products. Like cheese, you want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from eggs. You want to stay away from the seafood, specifically shrimp, shellfish. You want to stay away from peanuts. And you want to stay away from all nuts in general, like almonds and the Brazil nuts and all of those good things. The macadamia nuts, you want to watch your consumption of those particular foods or those particular nuts. So those are some things that you want to stay away from if you have asthma. And I'm not even gonna get into the toxicity caused by meat products. Y'all already know how I feel about meat, so it's no need for me to even continue to build on that. You already know that if you suffer from asthma, you more than likely need to stay away from anything that's toxic. And we know what the meat, we know the problems that the meat are causing within the body, so we definitely want to stay away from those. So basically, your best bet, if you are a vegan, if you suffer from asthma, is to transition to that vegan lifestyle. That is pretty much your best bet, just in all honesty. So now when it comes to the foods that you should make sure you are consuming that will help your asthma, that will help you reverse the asthma. Avocados. Want to make sure you're consuming avocados. Bananas are good for people with asthma. Apples are also good for people with asthma. Ginger, I definitely recommend ginger or any type of spice because it's anti-inflammatory, so it opens up the airways. So ginger is definitely crucial. Spinach, got broccoli, you got mint, you got rosemary. And then you want to make sure you are consuming enough vitamin C. That will also help someone with asthma, like a lot of vitamin C. And you could take it in capsule form, or you can strive to get it from like the avocados. They got a decent amount. You can get the berries, the strawberries. Spinach has a decent amount of vitamin C. So I'll probably focus on those, like the spinach and the strawberries, or any type of berry really, but the strawberries definitely have the most vitamin C out of all the berries. And I didn't mean to say avocados on that, but the vitamin C, you can get it from the spinach, you can get it from broccoli, and you can get it from the strawberries. Magic rims, no doubt. Yeah, spinach and kale are great. But people don't realize that spinach, like I said, contains vitamin C. It contains a decent amount of vitamin C, and a lot of people don't know that. So those are some foods that you want to make sure you are consuming if you suffer from asthma. Definitely want to make sure you're consuming those foods that I mentioned. And like I said, the vitamin C is easy to get if you're consuming enough spinach. If you're consuming enough strawberries, you're going to get your vitamin C. You're going to get your vitamin C in. But then you just want to make sure you're consuming the avocados, the bananas, the apples, the broccoli. Then definitely the ginger. I would even add like garlic, turmeric, black pepper, all of those spices. Because like I said, they are anti-inflammatory. So when you're dealing with asthma, you're dealing with a lot of inflammation. So you definitely want to consume a lot of anti-inflammatory foods. And the best anti-inflammatory foods are the spices. Oh, Montel, most definitely. And the thing about vegetables, a lot of people claim to like vegetables and claim to consume vegetables, but one thing that we tend to do, we tend to overcook the vegetables. So that's also key. We rarely consume vegetables in their raw state, in their raw form, which is the way that most vegetables should be consumed in order for us to really reap the benefits of those vegetables. So a lot of us, we overcook the vegetables. Now, for the most part, we're not gonna cook a fruit. So we're gonna get a fruit in its rawest form. But the vegetables, when we consume them, we tend to overcook them. So it's really kind of pointless at that point to consume that vegetable when it's overcooked. It's like an empty calorie is doing nothing for you when it's overcooked because you stripped it of all of its nutrients and the enzymes that's required. So a lot of times we just overly cooking the vegetables. So we need to try to make sure we are consuming a decent amount of raw vegetables. Oh, Denise, I thought I had slightly mentioned the oranges. I might have said it so fast, but yeah, the oranges are crucial. But the reason why I didn't mention the oranges in regards to vitamin C is because of the foods that I mentioned, they have more vitamin C per serving than an orange. And a lot of people think an orange is the king of vitamin C, and it is really actually not. And so that's why I mentioned the other foods, because a serving of like spinach and strawberries, just those two foods contain more per serving, more vitamin C per serving than an orange. Evan King, what's going on with you, my brother? And I'm doing everything is peace my way. Montel, cauliflower is definitely good. Any cruciferous vegetable You know, the cauliflower and the broccoli, that's a cruciferous vegetable. All those vegetables are pretty good, man. You can't go wrong with those, especially when it comes to like preventing cancer, reversing cancer. Those foods are those vegetables should be a top priority. Should make sure you consuming some cauliflower and some broccoli. Like I said, you can't go wrong consuming those, cauliflower and broccoli. Definitely recommend those. Definitely should be of high priority. But the thing about asthma, like I said, is we dealing with a lot of inflammation. So you definitely want to make sure you get those spices in. Definitely want to be consuming those spices on a daily basis, as frequently as possible, because those are anti-inflammatory. Those are like the king of anti-inflammatory type foods, man. So you want to make sure you're getting those spices in if you suffer from asthma, if you suffer from any type of respiratory condition or issue. I'm telling you, it'll work wonders for you. But like I said, when I transitioned over to veganism, I noticed everything improved drastically in regards to just my breathing and my chest and all of that, man, because I used to have it bad. I used to have asthma bad when I did have it. Evan King, like I've said before, sea moss is definitely crucial. I got some sea moss powder. I keep some powder with me. So I definitely suggest consuming sea moss as often as you can. I put it in like smoothies and whatnot, the powder that I have. So I put it in smoothies, and I try to do it on a daily basis. Magic Realms, man, garlic solves a lot of issues. Garlic is another just superfood, man. I can tell you, I put garlic in smoothies. I put garlic in my smoothies, man. Garlic works wonders as far as like killing the inflammation, just being anti-inflammatory, man. Garlic is at the top of the anti-inflammatory chain. But it's just crazy, man. The reason why I made this video is just crazy because I didn't realize how many people actually suffer from asthma. It's like every person that I interact with, they have asthma. So I didn't realize how many people are out here actually suffering from asthma. And I'm telling you, the number is high. The numbers are high. It's a lot of people suffering from asthma. It's a lot of people that have respiratory issues and conditions. And I just didn't we had a pause for a second, a little difficulty there. But yeah, like I said, I didn't realize, man, that so many people were out here suffering from asthma. And it's something that can easily be managed. It's something that can simply be managed. It's something that can simply be reversed. It's almost like diabetes, which I'm gonna do another video on diabetes to help people just kind of overcome diabetes, because again, that's something that can easily be reversed. It's something that can easily be prevented. And asthma's in that same boat, man. It's some of the foods that they push on us that we shouldn't be consuming. And we wonder why we suffering from some of these conditions. So that's all it is, man. We just got to refrain from the popular foods that are out here. And once we refrain from those, then a lot of these conditions will cease to exist. And it's really just kind of that simple in regards to combating a lot of these issues and reversing a lot of these issues and preventing a lot of these issues. Now, you got to put in a lot more work to reverse a condition opposed to preventing the condition in the first place. But it's not impossible. So if you're already suffering from some of these conditions that they told you cannot be reversed, that's a lie, that's a myth. It can be reversed. It just may take a while. And it may take some serious commitment, some serious dedication, some serious focus. Oh, Evan King, we gonna get you right, man. Diabetes is essentially something that can easily be reversed. Like when people tell me they have diabetes, I'm not even concerned. I'm like, man, if you just do some simple things, that diabetes reverses itself, man. You done. You ain't gotta worry about it. Percy Peace, man, appreciate the donation. And you said ADHD. Let me see. They're even giving the single moms extra money a month. Okay, as it was on check. Yep. Yeah, with the ADHD situation, man, we know how that go. We know that that's a systematic situation. The thing of it is that mainly affects us. You know, that mainly affects young black children, specifically males, the boys, young black boys. And the thing of it is, they assume that it's like a universal style of learning. Like, it's a known fact that young black boys cannot sit in a classroom for a long period of time and just soak up all this information. Like, we need to be active. Like, that's just a known scientific fact. So when you got all these young boys in this classroom and you just assume that we all learn the same and we can all just sit there and soak in this information and not have to be active, that's a problem. That's what leads to symptoms of ADHD. It's just it's the improper or incorrect learning style. So that's essentially what it is. So they misdiagnosing these kids and saying they have ADHD when really it's just they need to be active. They need to learn differently than everybody else in this classroom. You ain't got to diagnose them with a condition. And then when you diagnose them with the condition, you give them the medication for it that's actually making things worse. So they really quick to make us look like we have a problem. And that's all that is. So more than likely, 9 times out of 10, if the system diagnoses a child with ADHD, a black boy at that, then it's false, man. There's nothing really wrong with that black child, man. There's nothing really wrong with that black boy, other than he needs to be active. He needs to get up. He needs to move. He can't just sit still all day. Nothing is wrong with that. But in the society that we live in, they want to demonize that. They want to make it appear as if something is wrong with that child. Brittany, what's going on? Oh, Evan King, most definitely. I definitely can do something about like mental illnesses and just mental health and things of that nature. And then I can do a video in regards to the connection that it has with what you eat. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of these mental conditions that we face, they are linked to our diets. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't know that, especially like depression. A lot of people don't realize that we are depressed because of the things or the foods that we are consuming. That's triggering the depression. A lot of people don't know that. Even things like schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, a lot of these conditions have been linked to what we are consuming. They have been linked to what a parent is consuming. They have been linked to what a mother is consuming while she's pregnant with the child. Like, all of those things are linked to these conditions, and a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, Magic Rims, and y'all already know how I feel about the school system in that regard. So a lot of these dry textbooks, the miseducation, the fabrication of information, things that's not being interesting, and then they blame the child for that. So they blaming the child for the curriculum not being interesting, and then for them incorrectly teaching the child the wrong way. Like, they teaching the child the wrong way, and they blaming that on the child. They saying that the child has ADHD because, again, y'all teaching this child incorrectly. They need a certain type of learning style, and y'all not teaching them that way in which they need, and then you blame the child for that. It's like, again, blaming the rape victim for them being rape type deal. So we finna blame the kids and say they got ADHD because y'all teaching them incorrectly based on the learning style that they need or that they may need. Beautiful Goddess Keys, peace, what's going on? So that's ridiculous, man, to blame the child and say, hey, you have a condition, you have ADHD because you can't sit still because I'm boring you to death. Like, how you gonna blame the child for that? You gonna blame the child because, hey, you need to get up and you need to be active. That's the way that you need to learn, but that's not the way that we teach. So therefore you have ADHD, you have a condition. You have to take this medicine. How you blaming the child for that? If that's not my learning style, why is that my fault? Why must I take some medication for that? That's not my fault. I just need to learn differently. Like, I need to get up and move. I'm hands-on. I just can't sit there and listen to you talk for 3 or 4 hours. That's not a problem. That don't mean I have a problem. Just mean I learn different. Beautiful Goddess Keys, one of the best decisions, like homeschooling. Matter of fact, I went through that. And what's crazy is I went through it in college. I went through it in college. Like, I didn't go through it elementary school and middle school and high school. I went through it in college. Like, that was crazy. And then I mastered the system. I pimped the system. I used it to my advantage. You know what's crazy? I pimped the system when I got to college. I made them look like I had a condition. So what did I do? I used it to my advantage. I got more time on tests. I was able to take my test apart from everybody else. I said, all right, yeah, I learned differently than most. So I used it to my advantage. That was their fault for being silly and stupid. So I used it to my advantage. If they gonna pimp us utilizing this system, I pimp them. I said, you know what? I do learn differently than most people. So therefore, this is what I need. I need more time to take my test. I need to take my test apart from everybody else because it makes me nervous. So I started using all that. I used all that, man, and I didn't get less than a B in college by doing that. So I pimped the system. McAllen, what's going on with you? D is it's definitely possible to beat cancer, to reverse cancer with by going vegan. But this the thing, when you say vegan in today's time, like when you use that term, that's why it's almost best to say like plant-based or raw vegan, because sometimes you can go vegan and be unhealthy because they got a lot of they got a lot of bad vegan foods out here that they have created. So it's essentially easy to go vegan and still be unhealthy. So the best way to like beat cancer, if you already have cancer, the best way to do it through diet is to go like raw vegan. That'll be the best way to do it. Like the best way, you go raw vegan, and you got cancer, and you change your mentality, you change your environment up, and you surround yourself with more peaceful people in a more peaceful environment, you probably will reverse it. I'm not gonna guarantee anything, of course, because everybody's body is different. So that's another thing too. That's why I say it's crucial. It's better to take preventative measures than to strive to reverse something. Because the thing of it is, a lot of times you gotta learn your body type. So again, one person can probably tolerate fruits better than the next person. So that person that really can't tolerate fruits, they may need to eat something, they may need to eat a certain type of way or a different way than a person that can tolerate more fruits. They may need to consume more vegetables, more seeds, whatever the case may be. So we just got to learn our body types. So if you got somebody that has cancer and they go vegan and they don't notice improvements, then it's a certain way that they may have to adopt the vegan lifestyle. They may need more carbs on this vegan lifestyle, or they may need more protein on this vegan lifestyle. It's a way to do it, but you got to learn your body type. So if you need more protein by adopting the vegan lifestyle, then you got to eat the plant-based protein-rich foods. Opposed to if you got the body type that needs more carbs, then obviously you consume more carbs on that. But again, we got to learn our body type. And like I said, it's something called the oxidation system. And that's how you determine what type of body type that you have. And I'm going to break that down in a video in the future. It'll probably be one of these days, but I'm going to break down how to determine what body type that you have based off of that oxidation system. And this oxidation system will determine whether you need more carbs, more protein, or if it's like a 50-50, if it's even. So we got to get in tune with that. We got to learn that, because obviously if you need more carbs, the way that you eat is going to be different opposed to if you need more protein. So those are the type of things that we must learn. So if you have the condition, but you're not eating according to your body type and what your body requires, then it don't matter if you go vegan, it don't matter if you go vegetarian. You're not going to reverse the condition. You got to eat according to what your body needs. You got to eat according to that body type. That's the crucial aspect that a lot of us don't know about. Tavon, peace, what's going on? But yeah, D, it's definitely possible though. You just got to do it. You would just have to do it the right way. You would just have to do it the right way. But like I said, I'm going to break down how to determine your body type, man. It's a lot of different systems out here, but there are some systems that work better than others. And I'm going to break those down. Like the oxidation system is one of the ones that tends to work better than others in regards to determining your body type. So it's more exact. So those are some things that a lot of people underrate when it comes to transitioning to a healthier lifestyle. Like there is no universal way to eat, and that goes for being vegan as well. There is no universal way for vegans to eat. Some vegans may need, like I said, more protein than others. So you got to learn your body type in regards to even transitioning to like vegetarianism or veganism, or even on the raw food end. It's a certain way that you're going to have to do it. Oh, D, most definitely. It's never really as hard as people make it out to be. Like I tell people all the time, people don't understand. Like when people tell me that they can't give up meat, they can't give up the bacon, whatever it is that they swear they can't give up, I'm like, before I transitioned to this lifestyle, like I said, I was a savage. I ate anything, any and everything in regards to meat and like sweets and stuff like that. I was eating terrible. So I'm like, if I can do it, I'm telling you that you can do it. Like I was a savage out here. I was eating any and everything. And I came across the information. I did the knowledge to what I was eating. I discovered how bad it was for me. And I made the transition. And that's another thing too. A lot of people, what I've realized is they don't really like to hear the truth in regards to the way that they are currently eating. Because then what you have is accountability at that point, because now you know better and you still not doing better. So a lot of times what I realized is when I start to build on how detrimental some of the food is that they are consuming, it's like they try to tune me out, or they try to loud talk me, or they try to just exit the conversation because it's guilty. What they say, the truth hurts the guilty. So once they start hearing about how bad the stuff is that they are consuming, a lot of people already know this. A lot of people already know because they eat some of these foods and then they feel terrible afterwards. So when I start speaking the truth about these foods, it's going to resonate with them. And they can't accept that truth. They can't accept that reality. They don't want to accept that truth. They don't want to accept that reality. Because then at that point, now you're accountable. You're accountable. So you dig in your own grave at that point because you already know that this is something that you need to be straying away from. Because you've gotten the knowledge now, you've gotten the information. So a lot of people hide from that information and that knowledge for that reason. They'd rather be in the dark. They don't really want to know why this pork is bad for them. Like they may know on the surface because it makes them feel bad, but they don't really want to know the science behind why. Because once you know that science, it's definitely going to make sense, and now you're accountable. People don't like accountability. People don't like accountability when it comes to what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat. Man, a lot of people just don't like that accountability. So when that statement, that phrase, the truth hurts the guilty, is definitely a fact when it comes to this, when it comes to talking to people about their diet and what they are consuming. Oh yeah, Magic Rims, and man, people are filled with excuses, but a lot of people, they just want to run from it. They just want to run from it. When you start talking that truth, they just want to run from it. They try to change the subject. You know, I know y'all have been in that same boat before. Ishmael, peace, what's going on? A lot of people just want to strive to change the subject. They don't want to hear about why they shouldn't be consuming this pork, how this pork is killing them. All right, Percy, when it comes to the stomach, I say that's about 80%, 85%, maybe 90% made in the kitchen. So when it comes to the stomach, you said you eat decent. I would need to know what decent means, because when it comes to developing the abs, those are made in the kitchen. Like the stomach, that's made in the kitchen. You literally got to cut out a lot of like the artificial sugars, the refined carbs. You got to cut those out. I definitely recommend eliminating most of the meat or just minimizing the meat, staying away from the dairy products. And you want to consume more of the complex carb. You definitely want to get more of your vegetables in, but you want to get them in the raw form. You want to get your fruits in. You definitely want to focus more on the whole grains. Want to get your beans in. Another thing too that helps with the stomach is consuming a lot of fiber. So you want to get about 35 to 45 grams of fiber in daily. The best way to get the fiber in, obviously, greens and then beans. That's the best way to do that. And you want to make sure you're getting your water in. So you can drink half your body weight in ounces, or you can drink an ice cold gallon of water a day. That's called super hydration. That'll help get that stomach down. And then you want to make sure too, on top of all that, that you are working the abs. And a lot of times when it comes to ab workouts in the gym, a lot of people think they got to do a million crunches, a million sit-ups. That's actually not really doing anything. When I develop my abs, if you got access to a gym Then strength training definitely helps, like doing squats, doing military presses, deadlifts. That develops the abs tremendously. And then you want to make sure you're doing weighted ab exercises. So you want to do Russian seated twists with a weight. You can plank with the weight on your back. If you do crunches or sit-ups, you want to make sure you're doing it with a weight. You want to do decline sit-ups with a weight. So you want to make sure you're doing a lot of weighted exercises in regards to your ab work. So a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just do a bunch of sit-ups and whatnot. Like, nah, you got to make sure you adding weights to the movement. So you want to add that resistance to your ab workouts. Because when I developed my abs the best, man, I literally, like, my ab exercises, I was doing maybe like 2 or 3 sets of like 12, but they was like weighted. And I was doing like two ab exercises or 2 ab movements per workout, and I was working out 4 times a week. So I wasn't really going too crazy with the ab work. I was more so just lifting weights, and then I finish off with those 2 ab movements. And it'd be, like I said, about 10 to 12 reps, and it was all like weighted. And I developed my abs rather quickly, and then just watching what I was eating. Yeah, Evan, the ice cold, like, I recommend, if you can, to take cold showers, man. Those are beneficial too, but the science behind the super hydration, why I tell people to drink an ice cold gallon of water a day, I've broken it down, but this is like an old video. But the science behind that is your body has a set temperature that it likes to be at, that it needs to be at. So when you drink that ice cold gallon of water a day, you cooling the body off. So what does that force the body to do? It forces the body to burn more calories to get back to that set body temperature. So when you are striving to get that stomach down, you want to burn calories. So that super hydration, that ice cold gallon of water a day, is causing you to burn extra calories, because it's causing your body it's cooling your body down. It's causing your body to burn a lot more calories to get back to that set body temperature. So that's the science behind the ice cold gallon of water a day, and why it's effective in regards to eliminating that stomach, getting that stomach down. So super hydration is something that I definitely recommend everybody try to do. Again, got to be that ice cold gallon of water. Trust me, that'll work wonders for your abs. Oh, Percy, most definitely. Yeah, we most definitely gonna have some gym videos. One of the reasons why I ain't been posting a lot of like just gym videos, because I've been lifting a lot more, and I know this pandemic then killed a lot of people in regards to just being able to lift weights. So I'm kind of waiting to like next year to show more of my weightlifting routine. But I'm definitely gonna have a lot more videos in regards to just like what I'm doing in the gym, my workouts, putting more of those back on there. And then I just want to do like some smoothies, like show people some smoothie recipes and whatnot, man. Show people how to get down in regards to making smoothies, because a lot of people ask me what to put in smoothies and whatnot. So I can do a lot of videos in regards to just how I make smoothies. D, to gain weight with a high metabolism, you basically got my problem. The way that I gain weight, because that's my biggest issue. But the way that I gain weight, I was definitely getting my 5 to 6 small meals in a day, and I had to eat a little bit more protein-rich foods. And see, I can tolerate peanut butter. But if you can't tolerate peanut butter, then I recommend like almond butter, or you got sunflower butter as well. But I was eating a lot of that, but then I was also making sure that I was getting my 5 to 6 small meals in a day. So I was eating like every 2 to 3 hours. And when I did that, along with strength training, I put on like 15, 20 pounds of muscle in about a year. Percy, no doubt, appreciate that donation. Yeah, Magic Realms, it's a lot of different variations of planks as well. I got a lot of different variations of planks. And then to take the plank to the next level, like I said, put that weight on your back. Put the weight on your back, add some resistance. You always want to strive to make it a little bit more challenging. The best way to do that is to add resistance to it. Evan King, yep, I've heard about 52 blocks. I actually got a cousin, like one of my cousins, they was trained in it. So yeah, I got some knowledge on 52 blocks. I got to get down to Atlanta because that's where my cousin lives, man. I gotta go through some sessions with him, man. That stuff is dope. Oh, D, I'm all for dumbbells and free weights. I do a lot. I basically dumbbells and free weights and a lot of body weight kind of calisthenic type movements. That's all I do. So yeah, dumbbells are definitely good for the arms. Dumbbells are good for everything. You can do full body workouts with dumbbells, man. If you get a proper weight on the dumbbells, you can develop your body nicely. You can develop your body nicely, but you just want to make sure you get heavier each week. So if you master the 20 pounds, if you're doing your exercise with a 20-pound dumbbell or with 20-pound dumbbells, then next week you want to have 25. Then the week after that you want to have 30. So you want to make sure you get heavier and heavier with the dumbbell. And a lot of times, a lot of people get afraid when I say lifting heavy. The only reason people get afraid when I mention lifting heavy is because a lot of people don't lift with correct form. Lifting heavy is not dangerous when you do it with correct form and when you warm the body up. But lifting heavy is definitely something I suggest everybody do if you can afford to. If you can afford to lift heavy, I recommend lifting heavy. And like I said, form is everything. And I do videos in the future showing you proper form on some of the main lifts. But I definitely recommend building that strength up and lifting heavy, man. That'll work wonders for you. That'll work wonders for your overall health and fitness. But yeah, D, definitely incorporate some dumbbell workouts to your regimen. Definitely do that. Definitely do that. When I'm not dealing with the barbell, when I'm not dealing with the free weights, definitely got dumbbells. Definitely pushing those dumbbells. All right, Evan. So, okay, at 260, it depends on the lifts. Like for the most part, when it comes to like squatting and deadlifting, they say you should at least try to double your body weight. So you're looking at what, about 520? You should at least be able to work your way up to about 520 in the squat and the deadlift. So you should at least be able to double your body weight. Oh, D, yeah, I do all type of calisthenics. So right now I'm in the powerlifting phase, so I'm lifting heavy. And on top of that, I do calisthenics. So I'm always doing some calisthenic type work. And I'm incorporating more boxing into my regimen as well. But I never exclude calisthenics from my regimen. I'm always including pull-ups, dips, like all type of variations of a pull-up, chin-ups, push-ups, like I'm doing all that. I'm always incorporating some calisthenics into my regimen. Evan, when it comes to dumbbells, man, it depends on the movement and it depends on your level of strength right now. So I recommend, like if you haven't been lifting in a minute, then I recommend by starting light with like some 20, 25s. And then you want to just work your way up from there. So once you master the 20s or the 25s, then you just move up from there. But if you're not new to the game, if you've been lifting, then I recommend starting with like 35s and some 40s. Nick, developing on pull-ups, you got to start with assisted pull-ups. So if you got access to a gym that has an assisted pull-up machine, then that's cool. But then they also got some bands out here, some assisted pull-up bands that you can order on like Amazon. But you want to start with assisted pull-ups. That's what you want to start with. And Josh, when it comes to for gaining muscle, is it better to do push and pull variations or isolated muscle workouts? When I gain my muscle, honestly, I know a lot of people swear by isolated muscle workouts, but I developed my best physique when I did the push-pull variations. And that's just coming from my sport background. But when I did the push-pull variations, I developed not only strength, but I felt more powerful, opposed to when I isolated the muscle groups. I don't like having a chest day. I don't like doing leg day. Like I don't really like operating like that. The push and pull day is better to me, based off my experience. Okay, Magic Rims, there you go. You got the 15 pounds, time to get up to 20. And Evan King, when it comes to the chest, You're gonna have to do some dumbbell, you're gonna have to do some chest press with the dumbbell, you're gonna have to do some incline press, you're gonna have to do some decline press with the dumbbell, and you're gonna have to do some flies with the dumbbell. You definitely gonna have to bang out push-ups. Normal grip push-ups, wide grip push-ups, just gotta bang out the push-ups. And all the lifts that I just mentioned. And that'll develop that chest nicely. The retention thing, it wasn't something that I like intentionally did for like a, like I didn't intentionally do it, but like at a period of time, back when I was like younger, I did it. And just because I wasn't really fooling with anybody at that particular point, so it wasn't something that I necessarily intentionally set out to do. All right, Josh T, then you definitely got to keep that up then. Oh, Evan King, yeah, most definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about, but we ain't even worry about that because it's easy to develop that chest. Just got to put in that work. Just got to put in that work. That's all you got to do. That's definitely all you got to do. But, man, I just wanted to chop it up with y'all real quick, man. I got somebody that's about to come in. Speaking of developing the chest and things of that nature. So I got a client that's about to come into the building. So I got to get this gym ready, man. So I got to get ready to, you know how I do, turn them down, kill them and whatnot. Y'all know how I treat the clients, man. So y'all be easy, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in to short notice and just listening to what I had to say for a moment, man. So y'all enjoy this Thursday evening and this Thursday morning and all that good stuff. Make sure y'all eat some healthy foods, get y'all some rest, meditate, do your affirmations, all that positive stuff, man. I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.